No, your eyes do not deceive you. You have seen this outfit before. However, you've seen it in a different color because I own this shirt in both blue and orange because I'm that kind of person that if I like the style of a shirt or a dress, what have you, I'm gonna buy it in every color. I am a woman of simple needs. I have simple wardrobe requirements, and if anybody else can relate to having the same thing in multiple colors or patterns, please let me know. Also, please do not come for me for my tan line because this is real bad. This is from wearing my collared work shirt with a big bulky necklace on in the sun. So we're just gonna like pretend that everything's even. Hi guys, my name is Lacey of Spooky Lips and Fat Hips, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I almost forgot how to do my own intro. Getting carried away. Today I'm going to do a favorites video, but I'm not going to do a monthly favorites video because if you haven't figured it out, have stopped doing them kind of unannounced. I stopped doing monthly favorites, and the reason why I stopped doing them monthly is because sometimes I just don't have enough crap to talk about. It's really that simple. Sometimes I'm not testing enough new things, or if I am, I wouldn't consider them favorites, or I'm in the process of trying too many things for YouTube and for reviews. So I thought it was better to just start doing them seasonally because I do have some stuff that I've been really enjoying all summer long, and we're going to talk about them today. I got some skincare favorites, I got some makeup favorites, and I got some miscellaneous favorites. Some of these you might have seen before, some might be new to you. I think it'll be fun. I love watching favorites videos. I really love knowing what people like to use, especially if it's things they're not mentioning in their YouTube videos. So we're just going to grab some stuff and talk about it. Just to get some stuff that you've already seen out of the way, I have two Lush products that I love pretty much more than anything else that I've gotten from Lush. Not that I don't love other things I've tried. I've already done one Lush review followed by another haul, and there'll be another one before the summer ends, I can promise you that. But there's two Lush products that really, above all else, stand out as my absolute favorites. The first of that would be the Cup of Coffee Face and Body Mask. If you follow me on Instagram, you've seen me be very annoying with my stories because I pretty much take a picture every time I use this. This smells so good. I've said this before. This smells exactly like walking to a Starbucks. It's just like punches you in the face with delicious coffee smell. I love this mask because it has tiny exfoliants in it. And also it has agave syrup in it. Agave syrup is it's the first ingredient. So you do this mask in the morning as opposed to a nighttime detox spa moment. You do this in the morning to exfoliate and to refreshen and to help moisturize. And your skin is so soft and it leaves behind the nicest feeling and texture and baby smooth face after that. The agave I think is just so good for your skin. It really, if you have dry skin problems, you're really gonna like this. And despite it being summer, despite it being more sweaty and oily out, you know, skin problem wise, I've been trying to stay on top of good moisturizing because I think that combating oil with oil, so to speak, is very helpful. Really loving this a lot. I love this so much. The second thing I love so much is Rump, the bottom rub. This is, if you have fat hips like myself, if you're a big thigh guy or gal, this is a godsend for chub rub. It's basically an orange body butter lotion, whatever you want to call it, but you are specifically supposed to put it on your derriere region and your hips and thighs. Like I said in my Lush video, it was advertised in the store as being good for, oh actually it says on the bottle, runners and cyclists can use this rich cream to help with friction and chafing. I 1000% agree. I used to life hack use deodorant for chub rub to help reduce friction. I like this so much more because this is like I said, like a lotion, but it leaves behind the nicest, silkiest feeling, and it really just A+. A+ for that reason alone. It's also supposed to be firming and has caffeine in it. I don't know if it does that or not, to tell you the truth. I'm just a jiggly kind of gal, but for the chafing thing, whoo, A+. Especially because I wear skirts and dresses 24/7. I don't believe in pants or shorts. If it's not a loose piece of fabric, I don't want it on my body. Something else lotiony that I really love, and I love all year round, but I want to talk about it because I feel strongly about it. The Hempz Signature Collection body moisturizers. You can get these at Ulta. They have any scent that you could ever think of. The one that I've been loving for summer is Goji Orange Lemonade. But I also have this one, Exotic Green Tea and Asian Pear. These are kind of more expensive body moisturizers. Like, you can definitely get cheaper lotions in the world. But this is a great formula. And it has 100% pure natural hemp seed oil. This is so super moisturizing. This is like a luxurious feeling lotion. And I like to use these specifically on my upper arms because of the whole like chicken skin thing that I refer to all the time, because this does a great job. It's so moisturizing. It does such a great job reducing the redness and the bumps and all of that jazz. So highly recommend these. I actually got this scent last year. It says it's limited edition, but it's still on sale at Ulta. You can still get this. So it smells so good. They both smell so good. If you just like squeeze it, you can puff air out of the top. So good. This one actually is my boyfriend's favorite, but I have like a ton of these. I have more than these two. They're all over like my house because this is such a nice formula for hands, for the body, whatever. Like I said, these are expensive, but Ulta frequently does BOGO sales on these. So if you see them and it's a good enough sale, would recommend. You don't have to get the gigantic size. They do sell them in smaller sizes. I'm just like a go big or go home kind of gal. Jumping back to the face for a second, this is the Badescu Vitamin C Serum. I was using a rose hip oil that I kind of stopped using now that it's summer because that was a little too heavy in my opinion for how, like, my skin is pretty dry, which for the first time in my life I'm having dry skin. I never had dry skin until like the last year. So I'm definitely more oily now that it's summer, but not as, you know, oily that I don't feel like I don't fear putting oil on my face. I just wanted a less heavy duty oil, if that makes sense. So I switched to using the Badescu Vitamin C Serum, and I really like this. I can see an improvement in my skin using this. I've really seen a difference in the texture of my skin and like the overall tone of my skin. I think this is really helping to even out discoloration and redness. So I really like this underneath like a fairly light moisturizer. That's been like my go-to morning routine, if you will. One last skincare thing. This is the Soap & Glory award-winning Smoothie Oat, Sugar, and Shea Breakfast Scrub. The Breakfast Scrub, I believe, is like its official name if you're trying to find it on Ulta or Target. I think Target also sells Soap & Glory. This is a very fine body scrub, and it's, to me, pretty gentle. Maybe not the most gentle. If you have very sensitive skin, you might not like this. It smells exactly like cookie dough. But I like this, like I said, for the whole chicken skin thing. And also, I find this gentle enough to use on my face. And I just like staying on top of exfoliating this summer, and just in general in life. One, it helps I don't know the actual name of the skin problem I have. I'll put it here. I know someone always corrects me in the comments. It's this. It helps with that. I like helping with the exfoliation so that oils and like dead skin doesn't build up in my face, so I'm not breaking out or anything like that. And it just has the best, like if you have small kids in your life, you might want to keep this out of reach because it looks and smells exactly like cookie dough. It's a sea salt scrub, so it's not going to taste like cookie dough, but that's exactly what it smells like. I also brought up Soap & Glory before. I love their products, but they're considered like a gray area, cruelty-free brand because their website says that they don't test on animals, that no one tests on animals on their behalf, none of their ingredients are tested on animals. But they can't guarantee that none of their ingredients have ever not been tested on animals at any point in time, blah, blah, blah. Do your research. Just as someone, I don't talk a lot about being cruelty-free. It's in my description box. I am cruelty-free. I do use Soap & Glory products. Make that decision on your own. But yeah, I really like this. I was using the Ocean Salt Scrub from Lush, and that's just a little too harsh, so I'm kind of now only using that on like my feet. Because it was just a little too much. I like this a little bit better because it's just a little bit finer and softer, and like, you know, it's not going to rip your face apart. Jumping into, actually before we were going to jump into makeup, I was going to say jumping into makeup. I have one makeup tool that I want to talk about. These are the blending eggs from Bakerie, and this is so fucking cute. You open up this little egg carton and it's full of it. It's so cute. So you get 3 of the original pink blending eggs from Bakerie, and then you get 3 of the new and improved softer ones. I can't speak for these because I haven't used the new soft ones yet. But these original pink ones. My friend Jenna had sent me one of these in like a little care package that she sent me. And I fell head over heels in love with this sponge because it's a little bit firmer and less soft than like a Real Technique sponge, which is what I normally use, or an EcoTools sponge, which I've also used. And I like that because I can pull less product farther. And I also have never used a sponge in this shape before, like the classic beauty blender shape with the point, because I've never tried a beauty blender before, as we've talked about in other videos. I've really been liking these. If like a firm sponge sounds like a bad idea and you want something even softer than Real Techniques, you might not like these. Like I said though, I haven't tried these blue ones yet, and I can already tell just by squishing them they're a hell of a lot softer than these pink ones. So I think I'm going to have fun using these. But I really thank you, Jenna, for sending me the original blending egg, because I've fallen in love and have since purchased a carton of my own. Now getting into makeup. The first thing that I want to bring up is less about the product and more about the way I've been using this product. So it's been a real effing problem to try and find cruelty-free foundations that don't melt off my face in the heat, given that I work in a park and that I've gone to concerts and just like existing in a swamp that is New Jersey. In the summer, it's just no matter what foundation I put on my face, it melts off. I like the Too Faced Peach Perfect one. That holds up well but not great. Fenty holds up well but not great. I've decided that I just need to stop wearing foundation if I want to survive the heat. So what I've been doing is spot concealing with the Urban Decay All Nighter Foundation, because I don't like this for my full face. I think it gets too cakey and nasty by the end of the day. But because this is thicker, I've been spot concealing just like blemishes or like small areas of redness, as opposed to using a concealer and then setting it with a powder. And then that has changed my life, because now my face at the end of the day looks perfectly fine because I'm not wearing foundation to melt off. And by putting primer down, doing that, concealing my under eyes, powder, it's just like I'm minimally reducing the amount of foundation, but it makes such a big difference, especially like I always reference my sweat mustache. Now I don't have to worry about makeup coming off in that area, which was the problem I was having before. And just the powder is enough to make my face products still stick on, and it's been real great. I don't know if it's because I've been using the Urban Decay All Nighter or just the fact that I've been using so little product that it's like I'm barely wearing foundation at all. I don't know. If anyone's wondering, I'm in shade 0.5 because I am a very fair individual, even in the summer. But yeah, thank you, Urban Decay, because you really... Like, I went to a Kesha concert. I went to the Kesha Macklemore tour, which, like, this is the 3rd time I've seen Kesha, and I've cried all 3 times. Every time she does Pray, I just, like... And then, anyway, the concert was in the rain, it was outside, and I did that technique, and I got to the car and looked at my face, and I was like, holy shit, I still look good. So, like, really been loving that. To set my face, and this may seem ridiculous, and I don't care. To set my face, I've been using I've been using the Wet n Wild Color Icon Bronzer. This is not a bronzer. It's not a bronzer. And Reserve Your Cabana. And you can see that I've made a dent in it because you can't read this anymore. And when you open it, I've hit really good pan on it, which I'm very proud of. This is not a bronzer. I'm going to keep saying it. It's basically a powder that's the exact color of my skin tone with some shimmer in it. It's a little bit reflective. I actually had this in my collection because forever ago, like when I first got into makeup and YouTube and the beauty community, someone recommended this as like a drugstore highlighter. I hate this as a highlighter, but setting my face with this I love because it makes my skin look so glowy and refreshed and like summery, because I don't like anything dewy. Anything dewy is going to melt right off my face. So, but this kind of creates the illusion that I have dewy skin. I've also seen It's Likely Makeup, Jordy, I've seen her set her face with this too. So I know I'm not crazy, like a crazy person who decided to do this, because I've seen her do it too, and I was like, oh my god. I've been doing this for a while, and then I put it to the side for the winter and then picked it back up again this summer. I really like this, and I'm trying to pan it all the way through because I have a backup of this stupid product in my drawers. And I've said a million times I'm trying to get rid of my backup drawer. But yeah, if you're as fair as I am, try it. It might be a little too glowy, but I think if you're like me and you don't want to put on a dewy foundation, but you want to still look healthy and have radiant skin, you might really like this. I know I just got these blushes, but I want to talk about them because it's all I've been reaching for lately. The new Afri collection blushes from Juvia's Place in Serafina and Bella. Serafina is what I'm wearing today, but I seriously love both of these blushes so much. I love this formula so much. I said in my review that these are very pigmented, but very nice and like easy to blend, and they did just come to Ulta, so now you can get your hands on these if you didn't before, or maybe you were waiting for them to come to Ulta. I'm talking too fast, I'm way too excited. These have just been so nice. I like this one for when I want a more blush heavy kind of look. I like this one when I still want to be blush heavy but maybe tone it down a little. They're just so beautiful, and it's such a great formula. I did, when Juvia's Place came to Ulta, I did buy the blush palettes that had previously been released. Don't know how I feel about those yet. Those are really pigmented. I'm going to keep playing with them. But as far as just these two individual blushes, I think these are so absolutely great. Jumping back to glowy skin though, I have a crap ton of highlighters to talk about. Here we go. Just to get this out of the way, because I didn't realize you couldn't get this anymore. But it's gone. But I'd be lying if I said I didn't love it so much, and I hope they bring this back. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Amrezy highlighter, and this is so pretty. Oh my gosh. I'm trying to like position it so you're not being blinded. This is so reflective and amazing, and I didn't know if this was going to work on my fair skin, but it really just has that whole wet glowy kind of thing. Like, this is, if you want to be beaming, I'm not wearing it, but I'm always beaming, this is what you would want to go for. Like I said, I really hope they bring it back, because to me this is gonna look wonderful on so many skin tones, and it's that Mariah Leonard sweaty kind of highlight that I love so much. And I've been really loving that kind of look specifically for summer, because my whole thing this summer has been bold eye, because I'm never going to stop wearing a bold eye, and then really glowy skin and like a nude lip or a gloss. And I know that's really unheard of, and I'm wearing a dark lip today, but like, I don't know, it's just because I'm at work and I don't really feel comfortable wearing a spooky lip, and I like a more neutral lip with a bold eye and glowy skin. That's been my thing this summer. I just realized I should get makeup wipes. You would think every time I sit down to film I should have makeup wipes ready. It should be like light check, camera check, makeup wipes check, because I'm always covered in makeup by the time I'm done. Highlighters you can still get though that I love. These are virtually like the same highlighter, but I've been loving them both, probably for the same reason. Ofra Pillow Talk, which if you look in my description box for any of my last chunk of videos, you've seen that this is the highlighter I've been wearing. It's just a really pretty pearlescent pink highlighter. So beautiful. Very similarly, Laura Geller Baked Gelato Swirl Illuminator in Pixie Pearl, and this is a jumbo size Laura Geller Baked Gelato highlighter. This is essentially like the same color as that Ofra one. Just doing a side by side, Ofra is a little bit more white, Laura Geller is a little bit more true pink, but these both accomplish the same goal for me. They're both pink highlighters. Getting redundant, but they're both super reflective, and because I am so fair, a pink highlighter doesn't tend to look that pink on me. It tends to just blend into my natural skin tone, so it just looks like I'm, like I said before, beaming, like naturally beaming. These look very flattering on my skin tone. But my favorite way, and I've said this before in videos, my favorite way to do any highlighter to get to this level of blinding is to apply my highlighter like normal, spray my face with setting spray, fan it down a little bit, but not so I'm completely dry, like so I'm still a little glistening from setting spray, and apply more highlighter, and that's how you get this. That's how you get this ridiculousness. So, pro tip. Speaking of Laura Geller though, I know this packaging sucks with the ring light. This is the Laura Geller Life Glows On Illuminator palette, and it's 3 tinier Baked Gelato highlighters in Opal Crush, French Fizz, and Diamond Dust, which was a pre-existing full-size one that I actually had, but I love it so much I don't mind having it twice. Opal Crush is a duochrome. It's like a duo reflecting purpley highlighter. And then French Fizz is like a very yellowy gold. And then Diamond Dust is a pink reflect. I'm hoping that these all translate on the hand, but they're so beautiful. Oh my god. I love the size of this. I think this is like a very appropriate size palette for someone who wanted to try the Laura Geller Baked Gelato Swirl formula. It's one of my favorite highlighter formulas, I will say. I've had the air off for like 10 minutes. I'm already developing a sweat mustache. Oh my god. So this has been a favorite also for sure. I especially love French Fizz. I love a yellow highlighter. I love a yellow gold highlighter so much. I don't know why. Totally forgot. Another Ofra highlighter in Star Island. I was browsing the Ulta new arrivals page, as you do when you're bored and a makeup addict like myself, and I saw that this had just came to Ulta, and I love the Ofra formula so much that I went and bought this right away. It is a very light gold. It's kind of like Rodeo Drive's paler friendly sister. This is another one that just so seamlessly blends into my fair skin, and it's so blinding. It's so pretty. Ofra makes one of the best highlighter formulas ever if you want that like see me from space kind of highlighter. I know that trend is dying off a little bit. I will never let it go. So this is perfect for me. I will say I know a lot of people were excited about the new Ofra packaging. I kind of hate this. It's definitely an improvement from the old one because the old Ofra packaging is real cheap feeling, but this just feels bulky for no reason. Like this is almost a little hard to store in the drawers because it's, if you can see like size wise, it's a lot bigger than the old packaging, and I don't know, I just personally don't like it. I know they made it so you can replace all the pans in the packaging now, which I'm sure a lot of people are going to appreciate, but it's just personally not for me. I don't know. If I had to pick, I would have preferred they kept this, but that's just my opinion. And then finally, the last highlight palette, I guess, that I've been loving is the new Anastasia Glow Kit in Dream, the Dream Glow Kit. Whoo! My palette is a mess because this formula has so much kick up, it's unreal. It's like impossible to use this formula without it exploding in powder. But these are stunning. Oh my god, these are so stunning. They're all amazing. If you like a colored highlight, these are all going to be amazing. I would say you probably don't need this and the Laura Geller palette that I showed, but if you're a highlight fiend like myself, also these are much more glittery than any of the other highlighters that I showed you previously. But I find these so pretty and oddly wearable. You might not agree with that, but I've been wearing a lot of these to work, which may seem unnecessary, but I didn't claim to be that professional. Now I'm just like swatching all of them, but they're so pretty. You do have to kind of work with these though, because like I said, they're very kick-uppy, if that's a phrase. They're very dusty and they're very glittery. So you really have to take the time to work with these and like buff them into the skin and like really work the pearls out, which is a trick I learned from Mariah Leonard. Use a slightly more dense brush and really, I like to do circular motions, which again is another J. Kissa, Mariah Leonard kind of tip. And then just in circles buff it out and really take the time to buff it out, and that way you're kind of getting rid of all of the glitter. It's still going to be glittery, but you're not going to see it as much, and instead you're getting that wet look like I referenced in all the other highlighters that I talked about today. And these are just fun colors. So yeah, I think that's it for highlighters. I know that was a lot of highlighters, but I just, it's like my love of things is like eyeshadows are number one, and then highlighters, and then lipsticks after that. Though oddly, I don't really have any lipsticks in my favorite. No, I don't have any lipsticks in my favorites. I've just been liking glosses and nude lips. I don't know. Take that for what you want. 2 eyeshadow palettes I want to talk about. I've narrowed it down to 2. And one of the reasons why I only have 2 is 1, because I've been testing a lot of new makeup, mostly for YouTube. 2, I'm kind of going back and forth between like boring work looks and like then crazy looks when I'm testing products. So I really haven't been using anything consistently that I wasn't already going to talk about on YouTube. One of my favorites is something I've talked about already, and I'd be lying if I said it wasn't a favorite. The Dragon Child palette from Makeup Monsters Cosmetics, soon to be Makeup Menagerie Cosmetics. This is a staple in my collection now. If I was going to restart my collection tomorrow, lost everything, I had to start replacing palettes. What do I love enough that I need to buy again? This would be something that I grabbed right away. This palette is so inspiring to me. It's so beautiful. It's such a great formula. It's so pigmented. I have a whole review. Oh crap. I went straight for the blues to swatch, and last time I did that, my fingers were stained. I don't learn from my mistakes, do I? Very, very, very pigmented shadows. Very fun to work with. Endlessly inspiring. I will say, when I did my last review, kind of review roundup, so to speak, of different indie palettes, I did not expect various brands that I talked about to see those videos. I never expect any brand to see any of my videos. Makeup Monsters saw that video, and I had talked about how I was disappointed that they were taking a huge business risk and rebranding as Makeup Menagerie and leaving the name Makeup Monsters behind. And something I should have clarified in that video is I was speaking from the perspective of someone who had always wanted to try their products and that finally got to try their products and fell in love with their formulas, and now was disappointed that that was like going away, so to speak. They did clarify in that video that this palette is staying, so that's good. They also have a new palette that they're making for when they are officially Makeup Menagerie. Their lip formula is staying. I don't know 100% if their colors are staying, but the lipsticks are staying. So that's good. I stand by the fact that I'm gonna miss Makeup Monsters. I think it's cute. I think their branding was adorable. I think maybe with this palette they could have gotten the enthusiasm back for their brand, but they explained that they kind of felt like they had no choice but to rebrand. I'm sticking with them. They have my loyalty now, whether they are Makeup Monsters or Makeup Menagerie or not, because I love this so much. I'm so glad that it is staying with the brand, with the change. I'm so glad their lipsticks are going to be staying. This palette's amazing. Trust me, this palette is amazing. My last makeup item, though, might shock people. I mean, I might not. I don't know. I have talked a lot of shit about this brand, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't very excited that this palette just came back to the market after the whole, I mean, take this for what you will. This was a limited edition product that was supposed to be gone forever, and they brought it back. I'm personally not horribly surprised that they brought it back. I'm glad they did because this is a good palette. This is the Morphe 39A Dare to Create palette, and it's huge and awesome. Relatable. I'm really glad they brought this back, like I just said, because this was their holiday palette, and I thought this was a really cool release. It's definitely, in my opinion, a huge improvement from past gigantic ass palettes from the brand. I'm not the biggest Morphe fan, like I said, but I had seen the Tayla give this positive reviews, and I think also Raw Beauty Christie. I know definitely the Tayla sold me on this. She's, like I said it before, she's someone who could sell me anything. When they announced that this was coming back, I started grabbing for it again because, one, because, you know, I could talk about it and you guys could get it if you wanted it, but two, I've been kind of using these couple rows of more green tones to as a stand-in for my lack of the Melt Cosmetics Gemini palette, which you guys also informed me in the same video that I talked, no wait, different video. You guys also informed me in my anti-haul that that palette was coming back. So I mean, anyway, talking about this palette, this is such a fun palette, and this might be a controversial opinion. I like this better than the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette. I think you probably don't need both of those palettes, and I think you could get the vibe of both of those things because you get blues in this palette the same way you get the warmer tones and reds, but I like this one more. I really do. This is a good formula. It blends easy. I like the pan sizes. I like the whole concept of having gigantic transition shade pans because you go through those first. I really love these greens, these army toned greens. I feel like I don't have a lot of these kind of greens in my collection. I have more lime greens and things like that. Stunning. This is such a good formula. These mattes blend so easily. Morphe metallics are notoriously creamy and buttery because they have that whole dimethicone silicone thing going on. Very easy to work with. You get really fun looks with this. You can do very neutral, I'm not going to say the other word, looks. You can also amp it up and do more fun looks. I've been really loving to put this pink on my lower lash line with these warm tones, but also with these greens. Just me personally, this is real fun. This is gigantic. I know we're all kind of getting over gigantic palettes, but like I said, I personally would go for this over the Jaclyn Hill palette, and I do like the Jaclyn Hill palette a lot. Just my opinion on the matter, but I like this. This is fun to play with. You can use my code SPOOKY in all caps. No, I'm just kidding. I don't have a code. I don't have a code. Calm down. I don't have a code. I'm currently not affiliated with any brand. Speaking of spooky though, let's get into some non-makeup favorites. First I want to say that Georgia sent me this like perfect little beanie. It's the most perfect spoopy beanie ever. It says, "Here for the booze," and it has little ghosties on it, but also it could play music. Are you ready for this? It's so cute! I literally don't own any beanies. I own this hat and that's pretty much it. So I was so happy that she sent me this. Thank you, Georgia. I think it's so super cute and I love it so much. I've been wearing it when we do the Half Cousins podcast. Something else more on the spoopy side. This is the Marigold Tarot. I'm sorry about the lighting. Emily, shout out to Emily, recommended this to me when we were doing a podcast, and then I literally went out and bought it the next day. I ordered it online, like the antisocial online shopper that I am. I got the version of the deck with gilded edges, and I just think it's such a beautiful deck. All the cards are black and white with gold detailing, and everything is basically skulls and skeletons. And I just think it's so beautiful and so up my alley, and it's the first deck that I've bought for myself in a very long time. And thank you, Emily, so much for thinking of me and suggesting this deck to me, because I just really love it. Like immediately when it came in the mail, I just started shuffling it and playing with it, and I just absolutely love it so much. Some other things while I put this deck away. I've read a couple Stephen King books so far this summer. I read It, which was great. And I really almost regret reading it first, because every Stephen King book I've read since has failed in comparison to like excite me as much. Not that they're bad, but like it's not it. You know what I mean? Like none of the books I've read have been it. I read It, and then I read The Dead Zone, and then I read over here Needful Things, which I really liked. I really liked Needful Things. I liked The Dead Zone a lot. I think I liked Needful Things a little bit more. Really a great book. And I'm currently reading Revival, which out of all of the books I read this summer, Revival is my least favorite. But I also have about 150 pages to go, and I feel like it's just now getting good. But yeah, here we go. It has been fan-fucking-tastic. Oh my god, like I read it in 10, like I read it in about 12 work days, so like 12 days, like 100 pages a day. It's really fantastic. And then last favorite, we literally just got this like a day ago. My boyfriend and I got a Fire TV stick for our TV, our HD TV that sits literally right next to me. I sit in front of like a huge bookshelf that holds our TV and our PlayStations and our Switch and things like that. This is like a giant entertainment center. In case anyone was wondering, this is not just like my YouTube backdrop. I'm just practically using this bookshelf. It's a functional bookshelf. We got a Fire TV stick. Back to the original point, and I've been using it to watch YouTube videos on my HD TV, and it's been amazing to just like see my beautiful friends in all of their beautiful glory on a giant HD screen. It's been so much fun. Plus we connected it to our Echo Dot so we can voice command for it to open YouTube, and it's just like a lazy person's dream. And I don't know how we lived life without this, and I will never go back to not having this. I feel like I've stepped into the future. Just trying to see if I got everything. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Those are my summer favorites so far. Please let me know what you think about these products, what you've been loving this summer, what are your favorites. I apologize for the squeaky chair. Maybe when my first AdSense check gets here, I'll invest in a new stool, because I've said it before, but in case you're new, I sit on an antique piano stool, and that's why it's always squeaky, so I apologize. Anyway, please let me know what your summer favorites have been, what you think about these products. If you like me, if you like favorites videos, give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. I want to give a huge thank you to everyone who's subscribed recently in the last like 2 weeks. I've had a boom in my YouTube channel growth, and I don't know why, but I'm so happy you're all here. Thank you so much for watching me. I hope you stick around. Talk to me down below. I love talking to you guys. Also, make sure to follow me on Instagram, which is also Spooky Lips and Fat Hips, if you haven't already, to see what I'm up to when I'm not on YouTube. I do try my best to upload videos every single weekend. I need to get a shorter outro. Whew. But yeah, that's all I got. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Talk to me down below. I said it already. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Woo! Bye guys! Every damn time.